Hello and welcome to Electro Nerds Academy. In this video, we're going to interface the LM35 temperature sensor with an Arduino and see how we can get accurate real-time temperature readings. In one of our previous videos, we used the DHT11 and DHT22 sensors. Those sensors are pretty simple and convenient to use, but since they rely on thermistors internally, their accuracy isn't always the best. So in this video, we're switching things up and using the LM35. The LM35 is a low-voltage, easy-to-use, and highly accurate temperature sensor from Texas Instruments. It gives an analog output voltage that is directly proportional to temperature in degrees Celsius, with a very simple scale of 10 millivolts per degree. So what does that mean? It means for every 1 degrees Celsius increase in temperature, the output voltage increases by 10 millivolts. This linear relationship can be clearly seen in the voltage versus temperature graph, where the output voltage changes proportionally with temperature. For example, at 0 degrees centigrade, the output is 0 volts. At 25 degrees, it becomes 0.25 volts, and at 100 degrees Celsius, it reaches 1 volt. The LM35 also operates over a wide voltage range from 4 to 30 volts, and it draws less than 60 microamps of current. In terms of accuracy, it performs really well. You get around plus minus 0.5 degrees Celsius accuracy at room temperature and about plus minus 1 degrees Celsius across its full range, which goes from negative 55 degrees to positive 150 degrees Celsius. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that if you want to measure temperatures below 0 degrees, the LM35 outputs a negative voltage. This requires a negative supply voltage or additional signal conditioning, which makes the circuit slightly more complex. So for most practical projects, it's better to avoid using it for negative temperatures. Instead, you can use the TMP36 sensor, which can measure below 0 degrees Celsius without needing a negative supply. And we'll be covering that in the next video. Now let's quickly understand how the LM35 works internally. It's based on a simple idea. The forward voltage of a silicon PN junction depends on temperature. As temperature increases, the number of charge carriers increases. As a result, the voltage across the junction decreases. Instead of a simple diode, the LM35 uses a diode-connected transistor. In simple words, it's a configuration in which the base-to-emitter and collector-to-emitter voltages are the same. This makes the transistor behave like a diode because we will have only one PN junction that is the base-emitter junction, similar to a diode. But here, we will have better accuracy and control. The LM35 uses two such transistors. Their base emitter voltages are subtracted, and this difference is directly proportional to absolute temperature. This small voltage is then amplified and provided as the output. If you're only interested in using the sensor with Arduino, you can skip ahead to the connection part. But if you're curious about how this voltage difference becomes proportional to temperature, let's break it down step by step. First, note two important things. First is that the base and collectors of the transistors are not physically connected. Instead, there are a bunch of electronic components in between. This arrangement serves two purposes. It makes each transistor behave like a diode-connected device, and it ensures that both transistors are supplied with equal current. Second, the two transistors are not identical. One has an emitter area 10 times larger than the other. A larger emitter area allows more charge carriers to be injected into the base region, which increases the saturation current. So, if the emitter area is 10 times larger, the saturation current is also approximately 10 times higher. Now, with these 2 points in mind, let's look at the math. The base emitter voltage of a transistor is given by the following equation. Here, IC is the collector current, IS is the saturation current, and VT is the thermal voltage. The thermal voltage itself is given by another equation, where K is the Boltzmann constant, T is the absolute temperature in Kelvin, and Q is the charge of an electron. Since the LM35 uses two transistors, we will have two base emitter voltages. Let's call them VBE1 for the first transistor and VBE2 for the second transistor. These two base emitter voltages are subtracted at node V0, so the resulting voltage at that node is the difference between them, which we will call delta VBE. Now let's substitute the expressions for both voltages into this equation. After substitution, we can factor out the thermal voltage VT, since it is common in both terms. Next, we apply the logarithmic rule that the difference of two logarithms is equal to the logarithm of their ratio. Using this rule, we will further simplify the equation. Now comes an important step. Since both transistors are supplied with equal current, the collector currents cancel out from the equation. Also, as discussed earlier, the second transistor in the LM35 has an emitter area 10 times larger than the first transistor. This means its saturation current is also approximately 10 times larger. Substituting this into the equation simplifies it even further. Finally, we will replace the thermal voltage with its expression, and we can see that everything in the equation is a constant, and the only variable quantity is the temperature. So, we can conclude that the voltage at node V0 is directly proportional to temperature. This means that as temperature increases, the voltage also increases, and this relationship is linear. That's why it is sometimes called a p-tat signal, proportional to absolute temperature. Now that we understand how the LM35 works, let's connect it to our Arduino. The LM35 has 3 pins, so let's start from the left. The first pin is the power supply pin. We will connect this pin directly to the 5 volts pin on the Arduino. Next, we have the Vout pin. This is the most important one. It gives us an analog voltage that changes with temperature. We will connect this pin to the analog pin A0 on the Arduino. And finally, the last pin is GND. This goes to any of the ground pins on the Arduino. With the wiring complete, let's look at the code. Here we are measuring the temperature of the surrounding air in both degrees Celsius and degrees Fahrenheit, and we'll display it on the serial monitor. At the beginning of the code, we define the analog pin using the define keyword, and we name it sensor pin. Inside the setup function, we initialize serial communication at a baud rate of 9600. Now, inside the loop function, the first step is to read the analog value from the sensor using the analog read function and store it in an integer variable named reading. Next, we convert this digital reading into an actual voltage and store it in a float variable named voltage. Since the LM35 outputs 10 millivolts per degree Celsius, we can convert this voltage into temperature by either dividing it by 10 millivolts or multiplying it by 100. And we store this value in a float variable named temp_c. Next, we print this variable to the serial monitor. After that, we convert the temperature into Fahrenheit using the standard formula and store the result in a variable named temp_f and print that as well. Finally, we add a delay of 1 second before taking the next reading. This ensures that the values update once every second and makes the output easier to read. Now, let's upload this code to our Arduino, and once the upload is complete, we open the serial monitor. You'll see the temperature values being displayed in real time. If we touch the sensor, you'll notice the temperature value increases, and once we remove our hand, it gradually returns to its original value. Now, let's talk about accuracy. The LM35 outputs a voltage from 0 to 1 volt, corresponding to temperatures from 0 degrees to 100 degrees Celsius. However, the Arduino Uno's ADC works with a default range of 0 to reference voltage, which in our case is 5 volts, and it breaks this range into 1024 steps. This means only about 205 of those steps fall within the LM35's range, giving us a resolution of about 4.9 millivolts per step, which is roughly equal to 0.5 degrees per step. While this works, it's not ideal, especially since it's close to the sensor's error margin, which can make readings appear jumpy. We have actually covered ways to improve ADC accuracy in 2 separate videos, so be sure to check those out. In one of these videos, we had discussed that our Arduino has a built-in internal reference voltage of 1.1 volts that doesn't depend on the supply voltage. By using this more stable voltage reference, we can make the readings more precise. Once this internal reference is turned on, the Arduino's ADC now works in a smaller voltage range, from 0 to 1.1 volts instead of 0 to 5 volts. This means that the same 1024 steps are now spread over a much narrower range, giving a finer resolution. Now each step equals about 1.07 millivolts, which means the resolution improves to around 0.1 degrees Celsius per step. This makes our readings much more stable and reliable. To activate this internal voltage reference, we will have to call the analog reference function in the setup section of the code and provide internal as a parameter. Next, in the loop function, we will have to modify the equation where we convert the ADC readings into actual voltage values by simply changing the reference voltage value from 5 to 1.1 volts. Now let's upload this modified code to our Arduino, and after a successful upload, we will open the serial monitor again. You'll see the temperature values being displayed in real time. Now, when we touch the sensor, the temperature readings begin to rise. Compared to the previous results, you'll notice that earlier the temperature could fluctuate by nearly 1 degree Celsius between readings, whereas now the values are much steadier and more consistent. And with that, we've reached the end of this video. We hope you found it helpful. Stay tuned for more such videos, and we'll see you in the next one.